Today I'm going over the 3 highest CD rates that I could find, and honestly, these are all 12-month CD accounts because believe it or not, the higher you go right now, the lower the rate. And it never works like that, but because interest rates have been so crazy over the last couple of years, the 12-month is the sweet spot right now, and that's actually better for all of us because you don't have to lock in your money for more than 12 months. So if you've got any extra money lying around, like for instance, if you're saving up for a house or a car, or you just have general savings, then you really want to be utilizing that money and get the most that you can without risking it in something like the stock market. Because CD rates are fixed and they are guaranteed for that length of time. So it is a good idea to take advantage of these really high rates right now, because in my life, I'm almost 39 years old and I have never seen rates this high in my lifetime. And what it really comes down to is that you're never going to beat the average rate of return in the stock market, and you're not going to beat inflation with a CD rate. But the good thing is that you can lock your money in at a fixed rate for a fixed term, which in this case, we're talking about 12 months, and you're not going to risk that money. So you're not going to lose anything, and you're guaranteed to get that rate for the 12 months. Now, the first bank that made my list goes to BMO Alto Bank, and these guys are offering a 12-month CD right now at 5.5%, which is extremely competitive. Also considering the fact that they have a 0 minimum balance to get started. That is a big deal, and that is an extremely competitive rate right now at the end of 2023. These guys really don't have a ton of different banking products, so really you're just stuck with really competitive savings accounts and CD accounts. But if rate is all you care about, then I would definitely look into them. And then also, if you don't want to wait 12 months, so if you think 12 months is maybe too long of a term for a CD, then you can also look into their 6-month CD account. And that right now is also paying 5.20%. And that is an extremely competitive rate as well. And it's a little bit shorter than the 12 months. So overall, if you're looking for one of the most competitive rates out there, I would definitely check out BMO Alto Bank, because that 12-month mark at 5.5% is a very good CD rate right now. And then on top of that, the 0 minimum deposit is a huge deal, especially if you don't have a lot of money to get started, because at that high of a competitive rate, it's very hard to get in with a 0 minimum deposit. Now, the next bank on my list goes to Capital One, and right now they have a 12-month CD rate at 5%. Obviously, that's not as good as 5.5%, but the big deal with these guys is that they have a lot of different banking products. So really, if you want to just stick with one bank, Capital One is a really good option, even if you're giving up just a little bit of interest. Because not only is Capital One a very recognized bank, they also have a ton of different banking products that you can choose from. For instance, they've got checking, savings, CDs, and auto loans. And then on top of that, they have extremely competitive credit cards as well. So you've got a ton of different products here, and really you could design your life so that all of your banking is in one place. And that is really convenient, even if the interest rate isn't as high. Capital One also has a 0 minimum deposit. So if you are getting started with a CD, obviously it's very easy to do that with a 0 threshold. And then on top of that, they've got another feature that I haven't seen with any other banks. And this is really cool here, because with your CD account, you can actually get paid your interest monthly, and you can choose to transfer that money to another bank account. So either that bank account can be another account with Capital One or with someone else. And that is really cool, because typically, even if you have monthly deposits, you can't actually withdraw that interest. And so that's what's really cool here with Capital One, is that you have the option to actually transfer your interest into another account. So essentially, you're getting paid your interest every month. Now, keep in mind, you're not going to be compounding that money if you don't leave it in the account, but it's really cool that you can take that money out and it's not considered an early withdrawal like the other accounts would consider it. So when you consider all of the different products and the different features that Capital One offers, sometimes it is better to go with a slightly lower interest rate because you're getting more value in other areas. But that's up to you and how your lifestyle is, so you just have to make that choice. Sometimes it is better to go with just the highest rate based on your goals, but it also depends on what else you want from that bank. Now, if you want to do your own research on different CD accounts to find out which one is going to be best for you, I would highly recommend checking out bankrate.com. I've got an affiliate link for them in the description below, so check them out if you have an interest, because basically you can just look at a bunch of different CD accounts out there and you can decide which one is going to be best for your lifestyle, and then you can make that choice from there. So definitely check them out if you have an interest. Now on to the last bank that made my list. This one happens to go to Lending Club, and right now their rate is the highest one that I could find, and it's 5.65% on a 12-month CD, so that is extremely competitive. And on top of that, Lending Club is fairly well known, so it's not like some little unknown bank that you haven't really heard of. I'm familiar with them in the personal loan space, and they've got quite a few products and options as well. And if you are going to open a CD account with Lending Club, just keep in mind that they do require a $2,500 minimum deposit, but that really isn't that bad. I know that it sounds bad because we've been talking about zero minimum deposits, but if you really are going to make any money with a CD account, you do need to have some money in the account. So basically, if you are going to earn a 5.65% interest rate at $2,500, you're going to make about $141 a year with Lending Club because they require that minimum deposit. So at the end of the day, if you've got a lot of money lying around and you really just care about the highest CD rate that you can get, then I would definitely look into Lending Club because they have one of the highest rates out there at only a $2,500 minimum deposit. Now, I did look into other banks that had a $25,000 minimum deposit, but their rate was only a 5.67, and that is hardly any bigger than Lending Club, so I don't even think it's worth talking about those banks. And I would say, hands down, 5.65 is the highest I could find right now with the best minimum deposit. And once again, if you want to do your own research on different CD accounts, definitely check out bankrate.com because you can just go to one source and you can look at a whole bunch of different competitive CD accounts out there, and then you can make your decision from there. But hopefully this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.